This is the greatest show on earth.
Any of you people out there that find humor in this, you're really a sick, vapid person. You got no soul. Do you think it's funny?
Here's to you. Get bent.
You people should be ashamed of yourself.
Good day and welcome. It's been a while, but it's another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy? I'm Ryan, your host, and with me, of course, is my co-host of this journey, Doug, Big Gun Doug. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. As always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like it's been far too long since we're on the mic together talking Frank, but it's like as at the same time as it feels like it's too long, it feels like it was just yesterday.
Frank's an interesting character. You know, we go a long time without speaking about him, but then when we do, it's like an old friend. It's just an old friend coming back into our life.
Yeah,
and
I miss the guy. I truly do.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like, let's be clear here. We are an entertainment show, meaning we're having fun. We're trying to figure out who Frank Stallone is as he presents himself to the world. This is public information that he presents to the world, and we just talk and react and comment on what he presents. And sometimes he presents things that just aren't worth talking about. So it's been a little bit of a spell. Like, I have to wait a little bit for him to kind of give us fun fodder to talk to, and it's been a couple months because a lot of his posts, and this is no offense to Frank, because by all means he can release and share whatever he wants, a lot of just nothing sauce, really. A lot of guitar playing videos, a lot of just boxing history photos, which is great. That's his hobbies, and he dabbles in guitar playing, and but other than that, there hasn't been too much. But a couple months have passed, Doug, and we do have some pictures and some videos and things to comment on, and I hope people will enjoy our journey as we try to figure out who is this guy.
Like you said, we have fun. It's and truly in our hearts there is no ill will towards anybody that we speak about. And I would call it a comedy podcast, but we're not funny, so
we're not funny.
Just cross that right off. But it's a fun podcast.
It's fun. I don't know if Frank watches our show. I don't know for sure if he does. So he probably doesn't think we're funny, which is probably
certainly not.
We might not be everyone's brand of humor, which is fine. The numbers certainly indicate that we're not a very good show. So
I would say if we dabble in comedy, okay, if it is, we're dabblers.
We dabble in comedy and we dabble in podcasts. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to get going here. I'm going to start with this photo here. I'm doing a new thing here too, Doug. I put all of my pictures into an email that I sent to you, and I'm just going to share that email. I don't think I'm going to dox myself. Do you see any information here that would dox me? So here is the first picture I want to show. There is a video that goes with this. I took a screenshot of this video, but the caption of this video is it's amazing. This is what Frank has to say. He goes, right away, Doug. He says, I think I'm being Shadowbanned again.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to maybe take a break. Wow.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So I wonder if this is why maybe some of his videos have been few and far between. Now, do you know what Shadowban means? What's your understanding of a Shadowban?
That like your account isn't necessarily banned, but they limit the amount of posts that get sent to the masses.
That's right. Kind of like our podcast. Our podcast is Shadowbanned.
Might as well be.
So Frank is saying that because he's speaking these hard truths against certain maybe government officials, or he's very open about his feelings on certain things. He feels like his account may be shadowbanned, and because of that, he's going to take a break. Now, I dare say, Doug, if you take a break from posting, doesn't that fulfill the shadow ban?
Yeah, you're kind of playing into their hand. But the thing is, if you're being shadow banned, you can still look up the person's profile and see all their posts. It's just not in anybody's algorithm. So, and I think like the amount of followers that he has, plus the type of content that he has, I mean, that could be the recipe for shadow banning.
It could be, and I don't know how he proves it. I don't know how he figures this is happening. But Frank, my advice is don't take a break, don't stop, keep it coming, keep your voice being heard. Because if you allow the shadow band to do what it's doing, don't let it do that thing. Yeah, they win. Don't let them win. He goes on to say, as I've always said, this new form of the Democratic Party are the pawn scum of the earth. We have to meet the enemy head on and dismantle their anti-American rhetoric.
So then why would you take a break?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense, Frank. If Trump can take it, we can too. If you're a left-wing radical lowlife, cut me a wide path, for I don't want to hear from you or see you.
He's talking out of both sides of his mouth here. Like, are you going to take a break, or are you going to meet them head on? Are you going to fight through this? What are you doing, Frank?
Well, they don't hear or see you, according to the Shadowbans. Like,
I think maybe he thinks he's shadow banned. He very well might be. I don't know, but maybe he thinks he is because his engagement is low. I'm not sure what clued him in on that, but that could be it.
Okay, so that was the caption to this video. So here we go.
As you might hear, gunshots. I'm at the range trying to shoot with both eyes open, shooting trap, and it's giving me a lot of trouble. I usually shoot with one eye. You're supposed to shoot with...
Is it completely necessary for him to do this at the range while there's live fire behind him?
Yeah, and for context, he's wearing an army t-shirt, cowboy hat. I love how he's giving this message with just gunfire. It's like, hi, I'm in the streets of Chicago right now. You're right. Why not in your car with this message?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But remember, he's shadow banned, so yeah.
Both your eyes open, but for some reason I'm shooting better with one eye. So at my age, just stick with what works. I'm so disgusted.
Now, you're a police officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you shoot your weapon, what do you do? Do you do the one eye or do you do both eyes?
Well, it's interesting because I've always for 20 plus years have shot with one eye because you focus on the sights,
right?
And you can't do that with both eyes open. And we recently got the red dot targeting system, so it's I shoot with both eyes open now.
Okay, yeah, I do very minimal firing, but I do weapons firing as a military member myself in Canada. So we have the weapons proficiency tests, and I shoot with one eye, but they even taught us, try to shoot with both eyes. It's hard.
It is hard.
I'm a horrible shot. Frank would be very disappointed in my shooting ability. I'm a horrible shot.
You're not worthy of being a military member.
Well, you just shoot down range, my friend. If the enemy is in front of you, just shoot down range. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, true.
By what I'm seeing on the news, the attacks on Musk, the attacks on, Tesla cars, it's so ridiculous. This is all they got. This is all the Democrats got. They promote violence. They're vulgar.
Hello, I just love it. They promote violence. Bam, boom.
He's making a statement, man. They promote violence.
They promote violence. He's wearing an Army t-shirt. Bang, boom.
We're trying to clean this mess up that we're left with. All these jobs, people getting paid tremendous amount of money to do nothing. The Board of Education.
Frank, imagine getting money doing nothing in your life. What would that be like to get money for nothing? I can only imagine.
It's a joke. But, you got to hang in. You got to hang tough. Call your congressman. Do whatever you can. And listen, if Chad Bianco, the sheriff, is going to run for governor, go out and vote for him. Because if you get someone else in there, we're sunk. I mean, California is sunk as it is. Unfortunately, it's such a beautiful...
Okay, so now he's going to show you the view of California, saying it's a beautiful place, it's sunk. I love how he has the freedom to go to the range, to spend his day at the range in a beautiful state and weather. And if it's such a disaster, why doesn't he move? Does he love the state so much that if the people have voted for this, then it's it's the people that want this. So maybe you, the individual, doesn't like where you are. Like, you might have to move. That's the whole point. Like, maybe it can't be saved, if that makes sense. Maybe this is the state of California. So maybe just go Houston or to.
Yeah, I was going to say to Texas. He's got the means, and Frank.
I don't know why he doesn't do it.
He has a lot more money than we have.
Oh, of course.
He's the, I would say, the most down to, well, I wouldn't say down to earth necessarily, but the most he's like a middle class millionaire.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So he kind of sees the plight of the middle class people as he sits in his tiger themed bedroom. But he has the means. Like, you can move to a red state if that's what you want. So, like, what's keeping you in California? That the bar that you play at every week that probably gets you like a free meal and a couple of drinks. Like, I don't know what keeps him in California. He's not a working anything, actor, musician.
Well, he's got some movies coming up. We're gonna get into that. Don't you sell him out for his non-movie roles that he has, okay?
My bad.
Yeah, don't you do that. I think he would argue it's his friends, it's his home, it's been his home, but he probably sees it as his own personal fight to save the state. And I don't like any part. Like, I'm in Canada and I am from the West Coast. I'm going back there this summer to live there again in my home. And it's my favorite part of Canada. I agree. It's my favorite part. But if it got to the point where whatever politically, whatever I felt was like, this is not the home, because I was born there too, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the place I want to die in, then I would just leave. I don't love the land enough for my own mental health. I would just go to probably Alberta. That's sort of like the Texas of Canada. Like, if I was leaning whatever way, right? I would just go somewhere different. I would go somewhere where I could die peacefully. Like, there's no land mass on the planet that's worth being miserable about. I would just go to a different area.
Here in New Jersey, we have one of my radio hosts on the local New Jersey radio station. He's running for governor, and for years, like, he's seen this state deteriorate into like a liberal hellhole, and his theme is dig in with me, because people are leaving New Jersey at a record rate. Yeah. So his theme is like, dig in with me. We're going to make New Jersey better and everything. He's been saying this for years, that dig in. And we're not even like, we're not half as bad as California is. And Frank is like digging in. Plus, we're a much smaller state. Frank is digging in, but
he's digging in.
How many people does he have in his military, like his militia,
right?
That's digging in with him. Sometimes you got to cut your losses and move on.
Well, some of the comments on this video are, God bless Frank. Another one is, you tell him, Frank. Another one is, stay strong, brother. You're doing great. So another one says, God bless you, Frank. We're grateful you are, and then it's cut out, but I guess you are, fighting the good fight type thing. So there are people rooting for him for sure, but I don't even know if those are Californians necessarily. Those are just his fans on Instagram.
Right.
So now he's going to show you the beautiful state.
Beautiful state run by idiots. But, you got to keep the faith. You got to just hang in there. I wish you all the best. Have a great day. God blesses us all.
God blesses us all.
Yeah, you gotta stumble through that one. But if he really wants to make a change, especially in a state like California, you need more than faith. So, yeah. Good luck, Frank.
Good luck. We wish you the best. Yeah.
Hope you achieve it.
Bye.
Okay, this is a great video here. So we're gonna see a great painting from Elvis, painted by I think John Rivoli likes me. I don't know. I think he's ghosting me. I don't know if he watches this, but I sent him a message on like Instagram and Facebook like a month ago. I forget what it was regarding, but it was like a legit like, hey, we talked before, and I know John's friends with Frank, and like I said, we have no ill will towards Frank. We just take the mick out of him a little bit, and but John, if you're out there, we love you, brother. Your art is amazing, and this is a legit video is what I'm trying to get at, Doug. John painted this painting of Elvis Presley. It's incredible. This is one of a print. It's not the original, so just keep that in mind as this has been talked about. So it's called a 1 of a 1, meaning he has the original. John has the original, but I guess he's reprinted. I forget the process. He told me in one of my interviews with him that the process that is used to create a print, like it's almost like it's the original. I forget what it's called, but
yeah, it has the same textures. And
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. It's really crazy technology. So that's what he has here. So Frank has a signed 1 of 1. I think John even hints at like, well, there might be more coming. I'm not sure yet, but yes, right now, Frank, you have the only one. But I think John kind of hints at like, I kind of would like to sell these maybe. There might be more than one, but for now, yes, Frank, you have the only one. You kind of catch that as we listen to this.
Well, John signed this for me. This first print is 1 of 1 of Elvis Presley, right?
That's right. It is the only one. I have not released it. I made this special for Frank. I did this painting, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
Sell more. Make money. It's a beautiful painting. But for right now, yes, Frank has the only reprint for sure.
But I knew I had to make a print for Frank since he is the big music guy in my life.
This was the greatest inspiration of my life was Elvis Presley. And when I saw he did it, I know he did the painting. I said, can I get a print?
Yeah.
And funny, tonight we had dinner because it's Shannon's birthday tomorrow. And he said, I forgot to sign your print. And I forgot that. And now he's in town. He signed it. So this is Elvis Presley print.
1 of 1.
1 of 1.
First one, yeah. And Elvis was a huge inspiration for me.
Yes.
I still have every one of his records.
Yeah. There we go.
There he is.
Perfect.
There you go. Well, congratulations, Frank. That's pretty cool that you got that. And John, I hope we're still friends. I actually had to check to make sure we're still following each other on Instagram and on Facebook, but he's ghosted me on the socials, Doug. I'm stung a little. Oh well.
You got to reach out. You got to get him.
I did reach out, but he's ghosted me. He's not answering. Oh well.
You got to get him on the mic again soon. Get him on for like one of the Rambo episodes or something.
Well, if he responds, I will. But that's the problem.
Again, the anti-Israel protesters took over, I think it was Grand Central Station today, making fools of themselves, blocking people from going to work, causing turbulence and upset. And NYPD Blue, which used to be one of the greatest police departments in the world, just stand there and do nothing.
Well, number one, that's what protesting is. It's an irritant. For a reason, like it sucks. Now I know by law, and you can correct me on this. I know you're a New Jersey officer, but you do have to have a permit to upset traffic, is my understanding. So
yeah.
Protesting is a legal right, of course. I don't know if this group had the legal permit. It's not stated by Frank, but even if they didn't, what do you want the police to do in this situation? So, Doug, you're a police officer. Let's say you have look, this is tricky area. I get it. This is anti-Israel protest. I get it. So they're pro-Palestine, right? And they're upsetting traffic flow, people going to work. It's an irritant, absolutely. No violence has been committed. But you as a police department, are you really going to start like spraying them with a fire hose and pepper spray? And what are you doing?
No. You kind of just contain the protests. You let them say their piece, and then they move on. It becomes an issue when it becomes violent, or like you said, like if it disrupts. You have to get a permit for a protest because they have to cone off the area. They have to redirect traffic and everything. They need a plan for something like that. But if you're in a park or on private property or something protesting, and you're not interfering, you kind of just stand there, you let them say their piece, and then they disperse, or they're supposed to. We had a protest in my town a few years back. It was part of the BLM movement or whatever, right in front of our police department. And we knew it was happening, and we did just that. We coned off the area. We stood there for security purposes, and that was it. They did their chants, they waved their signs, and then after a little while, it was over, and they all dispersed. No problem.
And you went out afterwards and targeted everybody that was trying to kick the shit out of them. Is that what police officers do, Doug? Is that what...
it depends on which side of the news you look at, but sure.
Yeah. Well, Frank isn't happy about the. Now, I'm not saying what side of the fence Frank's on, but he's going into some dangerous territory here. If I was a celebrity, I would just stay out of this whole talk. I just wouldn't even bring it up.
Before you started, I can't hear anything he says because that zipper collar thing that he's got is bothering the shit out of me.
I don't know why he's wearing his jacket that way.
Usually, if you have, it's like one of those quarter zip things with the high collar and not the hood. Usually, like you fold out those two collar points, so it's not holding your head straight up. It looks like he can't like put his chin down because it looks like a military collar.
All right, so I don't know if he says much more. My advice is just stay out of this. Now, here's the thing: if this was anti-Palestine protest, I wonder. Now, hear me out here. I'm not saying one way or another. But I wonder, would Frank have this video had the same disruption occurred if it was anti-Palestine? Because it was anti-Israel, it's worth talking about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a few arrests, but there's thousands of people or hundreds of people there blocking the way for people to go to work with.
Sounds perfect to me, man. I would love people to block my way to get to work. Oh, sorry, I can't come in today. Anti-Israel protest. So I'll see you tomorrow.
This anti-Israel rhetoric and waving Palestinian flags and all, but seems like nothing happened.
They're waving Palestinian flags at an anti-Israel protest. Go figure.
You don't say. I think that's what they do at those protests.
Probably, yeah. And I suspect if it was an anti-Palestine protest, it'd be raising Israel flags would be waved. I would suspect, yeah.
It just nothing happens. Seems like people just go out, do their thing, disrupt everyday people, and they just get away with it. And believe me, I'm not anti-police. I love the NYPD Blue, but I think they just needs a kind of change of.
He actually says the police did nothing. Yeah, that's probably their direction. Like, even if it was in a quote unquote illegal protest, there was no permit. You think the police can you imagine the ruckus that would have caused had the police gone in with batons flying and fire hoses and like circa 1960s anti-Vietnam protesting? They were just like, nope, with the social media and let's just, at least it doesn't get violent. Let's just leave it at that.
That's the other point that I wanted to make before. Largely, the cops are far outnumbered in these riots. Protests, sorry. And if it becomes a riot, then the cops are in a shitload of trouble if everybody in that protest decides that they wanted to turn on the police.
Yeah, let's just say, let's make it an irritant for the public. Sucks to be them for that day. And let's just get through the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my advice. That's probably what they were told.
Yeah. Attitude
from the powers that be. The police are, handcuffed worse than the prisoners to be able to do their job. And it's just.
So again, if they were unhandcuffed, what would Frank want them to do? I guess he wants them to be dispersed, but you go in there as a police officer, say, go on, guys, get out of here with your protests. You're going to get pushed back. I guarantee people are like, oh.
You want to do everything you can to prevent it from becoming unrest or a riot.
That's right.
All right. So, I mean, if there's one or two people that are really causing a problem and they need to be arrested, I think for the most part, the large majority of the protesters would understand that. But if you just start going at people who are just sitting in the middle of the road, then they're going to be like, dude, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, it becomes a whole thing. And then they get jumped on and they get pushed and it just becomes a whole, yeah. In fact, the fact that Frank's talking about this now and I never heard anything about this is a good sign because it didn't make national news that I'm aware of. You know what I mean? Like there was no, Twitter stuff or anything like that with like fights and batons and pepper spray and
right. And it's not limited to one area. It's happening all over.
Right.
Sad day in our country where people can just do that and get away with it, and it affects the everyday working person. That's all.
It's called a protest.
Yeah, I don't think this is the proper hill to die on.
No.
All I got to say about it.
There's protests everywhere. Look at every college campus in the country, Frank. They're happening all over the place.
It's what makes our country great and terrible, which is makes it great, meaning we want to hear dissenting voices. That's the whole point. You have to hear the other side, whether you like it or not. I drive by stuff, even like in Canada, we have people who stand outside the abortion clinics or whatever. I'm not going to say how I feel about it. I'm not. But what I'm saying is I see them like, that's great. They get to be there and no one's kicking the crap out of them. Just they're allowed to say what they want. You're allowed to say it. Go ahead and put up your political parties on your lawn. You're allowed to do that. Like dissenting voices should be allowed. You don't want a dissenting voice? There are other countries that don't allow it to happen. You can go there.
Right. Yeah. All right. When you only want to hear one side of it, go to those countries.
They're great countries. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I want to thank Greg Kelly and Newsmax for having me on tonight discussing
Whoa. Can we get our hands on that?
We have the video. We have the Newsmax video. But what I love, Newsmax, it's not like CNN or it's a YouTube news channel. Like it's called Newsmax, but it's not you can't find, look, I'm not a mainstream media guy, but the point I'm trying to make is it definitely has a leaning, if that makes sense. It's like
leaning. Usually as a news person, you're supposed to be neutral, but these guys, these Newsmax anchors, they emote and everything. Like they call people crazy.
Yeah.
Newsmax is ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's an American cable news, political opinion, commentary, and digital media company. Yeah, it's created by a guy named Christopher Ruddy. But yeah, they definitely have their own, which is fine. Absolutely, again, they have a voice, and that's their right. But I love how Frank acts like being asked to be on Newsmax. It's like the news station version of Tucker Carlson. You know what I mean? Like there's no, yeah.
I find it really funny. Bernie Sanders, who never had a job and has millions of dollars and 3 homes.
Never had a job, has millions of dollars and a few homes. Sound like anyone else we know? Has Bernie Sanders never had a job? Is that possible?
I know he was in politics for a long time.
Isn't that a job? I mean, am I stupid?
You collect a salary for that.
He was literally a mayor. Isn't a mayor a job? Is he talking about he never had a dishwashing job? Is that what he means?
Yeah, or like
he's had a life of politics. This is where, Frank, I'm sorry, you're losing me a little bit because you're saying because Bernie never washed dishes or pumped gas, he doesn't have a voice or working in politics. Say what you want. That's a lot of work, a lot of meetings, discussions, briefs. He's a U.S. representative in Vermont. He was a U.S. senator from Vermont. He ran for president. He was a mayor. That is a career, Frank. Politics is a job. And I don't want it.
No, it's certainly not.
Because Frank had to maybe bust a few tables in his early days of singing at bars. That's the job that he's qualified to say stuff that he's able to say. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. But even if you consider the way that Frank did make his money, it was an entertainment. And a lot of people wouldn't consider playing on stage, or acting in movies a job.
Well, that's what I mean. But Frank would tell you before he did that, he worked on the farm. That's what he's trying to say here.
That's not how he made his millions of dollars.
You're right. Because he went right with Bernie's never worked a day in his life, and he's got 3. Like it just fell in his lap. Sure.
Right.
Okay. But he goes on to say stuff here about something. Here we go.
And AOC are sitting there Coachella trying to talk to the average working man. Well, an average ticket to Coachella is $600. I think a beer is $18 and all. That's not the average person.
But then it is because they're there. He's criticizing AOC and Bernie for being at Coachella because it's a high-priced event. I got news for you, Frank. Young kids who are students or working or busting tables themselves, they will pay $600 out of their tips to go to Coachella because it's an event. That's the whole point. To them, it's an event. They're paying for the event and the experience. They will sacrifice half their rent that month to go to these things. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it is average.
Oh yeah,
I mean, professional guys, middle-aged guys like us aren't going. Their idea for going there was to target young people.
Of course.
spoiled kids asking mommy and daddy, can I go to Coachella? They're not working guys. I don't know many working housewives or working fathers that could afford $600 to go to Coachella.
Coachella?
Jello.
That's my favorite flavor of Jello is Coachella.
Those people that he described don't want to go to Coachella.
No, they don't. I don't want to go to Coachella.
It's the freshly
It's a
21 year
kid.
old
Yeah, it's a young man's game.
that want to dress the skimpiest shit you ever seen and go there and dance, do drugs and dance.
I love how he's calling out Nepo babies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we certainly want to have anyone be successful because of somebody else's successes. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
To sit there.
Never rode the shirt tails of anybody.
Well, that's what he's saying. It's spoiled kids asking their parents for money. Like,
Yeah.
So he's saying these kids have had an opportunity to experience something because of somebody else. But
With a bunch of people getting high, listening to really bad music. I don't think that's the working person. Okay? I remember at 24 years old, I probably made $600 in like 4 months playing in a band. Probably that amount of money.
Frank, that's not a job. That's you wanting to get yourself out there and get known for sure. That's the grind of being an independent rock and roll player, as you saw yourself. But that's not, he's saying, I only made $600 playing my guitar. Yeah, because in between trying to play guitar, you should have been washing dishes. You should have been working at the gas station. You were trying to get a career in the music industry. So yeah, you made the grind.
Well, first of all, $600 then isn't $600 today. And secondly, what was the average ticket price of Woodstock?
Oh, it probably was very much. And a lot of people jumped the fence and went for free there too.
Yeah, so even like the ticket prices, let's say it was $15. That was probably a lot of money to some people who wanted to go to that festival so bad that they made it work.
Right.
Not including the people that jumped the fence or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm saying. But, like you got to, it's all relative, Frank.
And even today, I don't know many kids that are young are working to make $600 if they go with their friends or girlfriends, $1,200 just to get in. So Bernie Sanders, like usual, is talking out his ass, a guy that never worked, a communist, an AOC.
Wow. So Bernie is a communist. He's talking out of his ass. He's never worked a day in his life. That's amazing. I want that gig. Yeah,
we're never work and
make millions of dollars. If AOC had an OnlyFans, would you join?
Maybe 10 years ago. She's
an absolute buffoon. They are not the working class people of this country. The working class people of this country have more common sense and spend $600 to go to Coachella. Thank you again, Newsmax. Bye.
Thanks again, Newsmax. Now, I actually have the Newsmax clip. I don't know if we'll get to it today necessarily for time, but he doesn't even speak about Coachella during that Newsmax clip. But he thanks it's almost like this was his I'm giving you a Newsmax soundbite in my own home type
Newsmax exclusive. Appearance on Newsmax had nothing to there's no connecting tissue here. It's just again like his brain synapses firing. Like he was just on Newsmax thanking them, and then this Coachella thing just fired in his brain, so he launched into that tirade.
He's saying Bernie and AOC were under the impression that they were talking to the working class, but I don't know if they even announced we will only talk to the work. Why can't they talk to rich kids? That they want their votes too. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter either way. They're talking to people. They're talking to the public. They're going out whatever you think of their own perspective. They're going out there and they're grinding out in the public and making their voices heard. That's all they're doing. At Coachella, at the car manufacturer, wherever they want to go, they're going where they're going. So his reasoning I didn't understand what he was trying to say, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm actually trying to understand what his beef is. He doesn't like Coachella. He doesn't like the music. He thinks it's overpriced. Is he sad he can't go? He can't afford it?
He wants to go. He wants to perform at Coachella.
Yeah. Can you imagine? That's what's funny is if Coachella invited him to perform, he would do it in a heartbeat. Everything he just said, he would delete this video right away.
Harvard University has $53 billion in their cachet. As an American citizen.
it just occurred to me, he's trying to be viral. These are opening, to Frank's credit, he's doing these opening statements. These are like the clickbaity opening line, like Harvard has $53 billion. Like, whoa, I got to hear more. You know what I mean? Like, he's not even saying, hey, it's Frank Stallone in my car. He's not like, he goes right away into almost like a TikTok reel, but it's on Instagram on his videos.
Yeah. I hate those, like, you see those videos that are like Whoopi Goldberg fired from The View. So you're like, oh, wow, let me watch this. It has no mention of Whoopi Goldberg getting fired.
No, she's going to be there forever.
But that's the kind of clickbaity shit you're talking about.
God bless her. Now, he's going to go into something here, and I hate to say that Frank's a little bit wrong or a little bit misguided, but check it out.
Listen, do you want to pay them $2 billion out of your tax hard-earned dollars? I hope I pronounced that right or said it right.
No.
You didn't.
You didn't. He's saying here that Harvard received $2 billion. Not true. I think it was this last year, maybe. But I actually did some research on this because, believe it or not, Frank, I like to do a little bit of research because I don't always want to believe what everyone tells me on the internet. I like to kind of do my own research. He's basically saying we have a very rich school that has a lot of money, and then on top of that, the government has given it further money. That money, and this is very interesting. So Harvard's a very good school, very high-end professors, teaching facility. What they do, Doug, is that money that taxpayers do send to the government, that the government then dishes out to other schools as well, not just Harvard. They use these schools that are studying cancer treatment, whatever it might be. They give them basically like, oh, you're funding this. So students are learning. Let's just keep it simple. So let's say they're trying to figure out, the best flea medicine for a dog that doesn't hurt the dog. So that research is being done at Harvard, and you are a student and you're a veterinarian. So the government's like, hey, this is going to help a lot of dog owners in the US, whether you're Democratic, Republican, independent, non-voter, it doesn't matter, but you're a dog lover. So we're going to give money to this class to help figure out how to solve fleas so that it doesn't help the school get more money. It doesn't help it doesn't pay for kids' tuition. It doesn't pay for anything like that. All it does is just helps the research that's going to benefit people in the US.
So he's talking about grants, right?
Basically, the idea being that you, the taxpayer, are paying facilities to better your life as an American.
Right. Grants that go to these specialized
research
programs and stuff. Yeah.
But do you think it's fair? They got $53 billion in their cachet. And why should we pay them $2 billion a year of U.S. taxpayer dollars? That makes no sense to me. I don't think it makes sense to anybody.
It makes sense to me because I just explained it. And I hope it makes sense to our listeners as well. And I hope, Frank, it makes sense to you if you're listening to this. So what that $2 billion, as you say, is used for, again, it's not paying for kids' tuition.
Think about it.
I did actually.
Who do you blame, or what do you blame for this rapid decline over the past few years, specifically there in the Los Angeles?
So now he's on Newsmax. You guys ready? National Report.
He always sits in that room with the records behind him.
Yeah, his hair's on point right now. He's got his shirt open a little bit, showing a little bit the Frank chest hair. They're fake reporters. They're fake journalists. That's what I hate. Like the fake news media is really fake too, but these guys are like on an extra level of fake. They're pretending to be.
Yeah, they're disguising themselves as a legitimate news network.
Actually, we'll play a game here. Who has more makeup, the guy on the left or the woman on the right? All right, Frank
certainly not. Frank doesn't have any.
Area or greater area?
Well, listen, like any business or it all comes from the top. And the top is the governor. And he is probably the worst governor in the history of California, maybe in the country. He does nothing.
Now, what I love here is this news channel that starts showing as Frank is talking here about Newsom. It's now showing you still the images of like Tent City and drug use. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And also like how below his picture says Frank Stallone, actor and singer. I would have loved it if it said Sylvester Stallone's brother.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We have one of the most beautiful states. You know, we have mountains for skiing. We have some of the greatest fishing. We have some of the greatest beaches. And it is just fallen to a decline.
They show all these pictures of drug users in tent city. Then they show a smiling Gavin Newsom. He's the evil minion who's destroying the state. I love it. Oh, I love this propaganda. It's amazing.
Line like I've never seen before, and these people keep voting these buffoons into power. And the thing is, what I don't understand is crime is rampant. I think I really have some hope because we have Nathan Hochman as the district attorney, and we have a new police.
Okay, so he goes into that a little bit more, but at the end of this cast, he keeps going, and the newscaster on the left tries to. He's ready to tap out, but Frank's not ready to tap out. And the headline again is California under siege from homelessness and crime. It's under siege. How is Frank able to even to do this video? Like, how is he able to get the word out if the state is under siege? How is he able to go to the range and shoot? How is he able to leave his home, Doug?
It's one of those clickbaity titles. You see, like the other side does it too. They just blow this stuff up to make it seem far more severe than it actually is.
Oh, because it sells headline. Yeah, headlines sell, of course. Now Frank's he's not ready to tap out. The guy on the left's like got his earbud in and said, "Can you hang up on Frank now?"
We appreciate it. Big fan, by the way. More than 60 films. He's still performing. He does just about everything. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I watch you all every day.
Oh, thanks so much.
You're a great channel, and you speak the truth. And I think the people with common sense out there really appreciate you all.
We'll bring you back on, Frank. Every week now.
Have a happy St. Patty's Day.
You as well. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Speak soon.
But I love how he's like, you just about do everything. You act, you sing, got 60 movies.
The guy on the right goes, big fan. 60 movie. You ain't nobody's a big fan.
I know.
Here.
It's such ball washing. Yeah, you're a big fan. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all excellent points. That is Grammy and Golden Globe nominated artist.
The graffiti.
Frank Stallone. Yes, sir.
The graffiti is,
he's reading the script and he's like, there we go, Grammy nominated. Frank Stallone. And Frank's like, no, the graffiti. We have a lot of graffiti.
I'm not done talking.
I've never seen anything like it in life. I think personally, myself.
This is his solution to get rid of the graffiti. You want to hear it?
Oh, no. I'm afraid.
Okay, here we go. This is all you got to do.
They should ban spray paint cans unless you have a contractor's license and you have a serial number, because I think it'd be really hard for these people to be painting graffiti with a paintbrush. I think it'd take a little more time than
make spray bottle cans the same as getting a gun in the state. That hard to do. You have to get a serial number on the spray. Can you imagine? Hey, what can did that spray come from? Well, that was serial number 563. Yeah. And even this newscaster guy is like, ooh, that's a little bit much to our listeners. But he said earlier in the video, Doug, that to clean up the streets, he said to give the homeless people a job to clean up their own mess and pay them to clean up their own shite. That was his solution. Was basically tell these people who live in the tents to sweep the sidewalk and we'll pay you.
Oh, yeah. They're going to get right on that.
Yeah. Now, this is a great video here. So this is Norman Guitars. Have you ever heard of Norman's Guitars?
Is that a brand of guitar?
I think it's a store that sells guitars.
Oh, wow.
And it says here, Norman's Rare Guitars documentary, a film by Devin Delmore, outtakes and extras. This is on the YouTube channel. So there might be an actual film that you can buy or rent, but on YouTube they've put the outtakes and extras. So I don't think Frank made the film, but he made the outtake and extra part of the show. So we can watch his interview here. Now maybe he's in the interview, but we see the full interview here. Or sorry, he's in the doc, but we see the full interview here. Long story short, he tells the story about the time that he was at the Norman Guitar store. It's really convoluted, and I hope you can follow it.
Come on.
Your brother bought you.
Oh, the Christmas present guitar. That was.
So that's the name of the story. The Christmas present guitar. Okay. You tracking so far?
Yeah. He looks really awkward sitting there with the guitar across his body.
He never mentions that the guitar he's speaking about, I don't know guitars, is the one that he's holding, but I think it might be, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Totally unbeknownst to me, because Norm had done something before about a white falcon, and which I found out later, a girl saw me playing it in the store and bought it for me.
This is so weird. So already it's very confusing to understand what he's talking about. He's all over the place. He's saying Norman, the store owner, gave him a guitar to play in the store. He played it. A girl saw Frank play it, was so enamored by Frank's playing of said guitar that she bought it for him. You tracking?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's what he just said. I know. There's more. That's not even the story. He just gave that as a side quest story.
Okay.
My birthday. And Norman's going, yeah, it just came from someone. So
so she bought it for him for his birthday, and Norm said, yeah, somebody just bought it for you. But I guess he found out later the story because he just told you it was a girl saw him play. Some anonymous donor bought. Can you imagine ever walking to a store, seeing any celebrity play guitar, Doug, and you're like, wow, I really loved how you played that guitar. I'm going to buy it for you.
That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Oh, no, the interview's not over yet. There's more.
So there's always something like weird going on. So this was right before Christmas. And,
So he's saying there's always something weird going on in the store. There's always something weird going on in Frank's life in this guitar store. Here's the next story. So that was a very quick story to show you that, there's more weird stories coming up for this store. And here we go. So this is just before Christmas. I think it was even like Christmas Eve or something like that.
Popping in, the store was busy, and Norm goes, there's a private person that wants you to pick a guitar that you want as a gift. I go,
okay. So another anonymous donor. Frank is just surrounded by anonymous donors. So he says, Norman goes up to him and says, hey, Frank, just so you know, there's a private person, somebody who wants to remain private, I think is what he meant, that wants you to pick any guitar from the store and you get to buy it.
So this is different than the first.
That's right. This is different. He received a birthday gift from an anonymous donor, from a female fan watching him play the guitar. That happened on his birthday. This is now a Christmas story for a different guitar, a different donor.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So now Frank's bewildered, like, wow, any guitar. So he kind of says what he's going to say here.
What? Are you serious? I'm thinking, God, what girls have I been going out with that money? I don't know. None. They're all busted out. So,
oh my God. Why does he got to do the exaggerating, take the glasses off and put the stem in his mouth? Like, what girls have I been?
Did he already said though?
Yeah, yes. What girls have I been going out that have money? None.
None. They're all busted out. Wow. What a weird thing to say. So he's thinking to himself, I already had one female fan buy me a guitar for my birthday. Now, what other females have I been with in my life that have money that could afford a guitar that I could pick out of the store at random? None of them. They're all piss poor broke. Jeez.
Figured it couldn't be them. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, I can't tell you, but if you find a guitar you like, it's yours. Now,
so Frank's like, hey, I just quickly went through my Rolodex of all the girls I've been with. They're all broke, so it can't be them. So Norman, who is my anonymous donor? Who is the person that could give me? Because all the females in my life are broke, so it must be a guy. Who is it? And Norm's like, I can't tell you, man. They want to remain anonymous. Okay.
For now I have a meltdown. I'm always saying, man, I'd love to have that guitar. Now that I can have any guitar, I can't pick a guitar, right?
Right. So now he's saying the fact that I could have any guitar that I want now. It's like when someone says, I'm buying dinner. Now you don't know what to get on the menu because you could pick anything you want.
Anything.
So he says he has a meltdown. He's like, I don't know what to do now. I can have any guitar I want. So he's looking around the store in a frantic craziness. Like, do I want this one? Do I want that one?
I was just going to say there's probably a reason why this was cut out of the full doc.
How dare you? This isn't an outtake. This is an extra. This is extra. Extra Frank.
Right at that point, I swear to you,
I'm not lying. That's a go.
It's a tell. I swear to you. I swear this is true.
So he's saying, just as he's looking around, like I'm actually really helping Frank explain the story. Doug, I kid you not, I had to listen to this 3 times so I can narrate the story to our listeners because I think it's helping. Do you think it's helping?
Yes,
Okay.
You explaining it is helping. But he has this way of telling stories where it just, it veers off into different things because, like, again, I say it all the time. His stream of consciousness, something will click in his brain that'll take him on a different tangent. So he doesn't finish his sentence before he veers off into a different direction.
So he's saying now, as he's going around the store trying to figure out which guitar to buy, his phone rings and somebody happens to call him during this moment of guitar shopping.
Sure. Okay.
Get a phone call, and it's my brother. He goes, "How you doing?" I said, "Yeah." I go.
I said, "Yeah."
I said, "Yeah."
What the? See, this is what I don't understand. So Sly calls him. Of course, Frank loves to bring up his brother for various reasons, but also because he gets to do his Sly impersonation.
Yeah,
that's always his thing. Like he can never just say, "Hey, Sly called me and just asked how I was doing or what I was up to," but gonna ask how you doing like this.
So Sly knew that Frank was going to be in the shop at that moment.
Well, that's what we're led to believe. He's going to go on to that. It's like, why would my brother call me at this exact moment when I'm in Norman's guitar shop? That's what. Okay.
They starts mentioning guitars. You know about Les Paul? Yes, I got 7 of them.
Oh God.
Oh, I know. Humble brag there a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, so Sly goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Frank's response is, "Yeah," and then and Sly goes, "Do you know anything about Les Paul guitars?" And Frank's like, "Well, yeah, I got 7 of them, you idiot."
Yeah, he's big time in his brother. Like Sly mentions the most famous guitar brand in the world, and he's got to like humiliate him. Yeah, idiot. I have 7 of them.
See, Frank, I don't think you need anyone donating you guitars. I think you're doing just fine here. Like, he's got 7 of one model alone.
Yeah. Does anybody need 7 Les Pauls?
Didn't we see a video of him trying to sell his guitars online?
Yeah.
He was getting rid of them?
Yeah.
That's right.
Stage played.
Oh, he's selling the gift of guitars. He's turning around and making a profit. Stop buying the guitars, people. Oh, my God.
You know about it, and I can tell he's reading it off something like this. He goes,
so he's saying that Sly is reading some sort of script, like it's some sort of like not prank, but it's
setup.
A setup. Or
Sly's also an actor. I think he could pretend like he's not reading it.
I think what's happening is he's not reading off a script, but in Sly's mind, he knows. Hey, spoiler! Have you guessed who the silent donor might be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
"So where are you?" I said, "Well, I'm at my friend's, Norm's Rare Guitars," and it kind of goes like.
I love how all these guys, and you know what I'm talking about here, Doug. They have all these friends. I'm at my friends. Norma's good rare guitar. I'm at my friends. I'm at some restaurant with my friends. They're always surrounded by friends who own businesses, own guitars, coffee guy. They're always all these friends. Everywhere I go, it's Norm. Hey, it's this. Hey, it's They surround themselves by, quite frankly, they're superficial friends. You know what I mean by that? They're not real.
They're friends, like as they're transactional friends. Friends as matter of convenience.
Like if Norm's guitar shop went under, would he still invite Norm over for coffee and hang out? Yeah.
And if Frank declared that he was done being a musician, would Norm want to be friends with Frank?
No. Norm doesn't invite Frank over for Christmas dinner or nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Silent. "Oh yeah, so what are you doing?" I'm just walking around. I still haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, because the story didn't happen this way. It's not. This isn't a real story. This can't be. Right. So Frank calls him while he's in the shop, and I haven't figured out that why would my brother call me while I'm shopping for a guitar from an anonymous donor? I haven't made the connection yet. Okay, fair enough. Fine, fair enough. That's what he's saying.
Making it up as he goes.
I think so.
I don't know if Norm can help me out on this. I don't know where it went.
I don't know if Norm can help me out with this, and I don't know what does that mean? Norm can help you out with what? He's already told you that he's aware of who the private, so he knows that Sly, let's just pretend. So Norm knows Sly told him, "Hey, tell my brother when he comes in, he can buy any guitar he wants." So Norm's not going to reveal that it's his brother because he was told not to. So Norm can help you. And then Frank says, I don't know where it went, but let me continue with the story.
And he also he's like, I didn't make the connection yet, but then the breath right before that, he's like, I could tell he was reading off of something.
I know.
Like, what is it, Frank? God damn it. So
we're just trying to figure we're just trying to figure out who he is. That's the problem.
Think my brother might have fessed up.
My brother might have fessed up. No, he told Norm when my brother comes in, let my brother buy whatever guitar he wants for Christmas. I'm his brother. I have $500 million. I want to buy him a guitar.
This whole endeavor of finding out who Frank is might be a futile one.
No, we'll get to the bottom of it one day.
And then I couldn't find a guitar.
So now he says he can't. This is weird. So is he still on the phone with his brother at this moment? I don't know. Has he hung up yet?
He is making this up on the fly, and he's lost the thread. I don't know where this is going.
Well, it's going somewhere. Trust me, you actually have no idea where it's going, because right now he's saying, I'm looking around the store. I cannot pick a guitar that would suit what I'm looking for. I can buy any one of these from this anonymous donor, and I don't know which one to buy. I've now hung up the phone with my brother. I'm continue shopping. I don't know which guitar to buy. That's where he's at right now. We all caught up? Okay.
All caught up.
Okay.
They were bringing me guitars I had. And then Norm brought out this guitar case.
Here. So Norm says, hey, Frank, welcome to Norman's. It's good to see you today right before Christmas. Frank says, yeah, it's great. I love to shop for guitars right before Christmas. Norm says, hey, by the way, since you're here, it's a good thing you showed up to the store when you did, because someone who really loves you wants to buy you a guitar. They told me to tell Frank, buy any guitar you want. It's on me, the anonymous donor. Merry Christmas. Okay. Frank has spent whatever time he's spent in the shop. He can't, Doug, for the life of him, he can't pick a guitar. He's told Norman, I don't know what to buy. I'm having a meltdown, as he said. I don't know which guitar to buy. I don't know which one, Norman. Please, any thoughts, any ideas? Maybe that was said. Frank does. I'm actually helping Frank fill in the gaps here. Because now Norman, Doug, is coming out from the back. This was not on display. He's coming out with a guitar that will be the guitar that Frank didn't even know he was looking for.
That had Western tooling on it, said Sons of the Pioneers. Now, I am a fanatic for the Sons of the Pioneers, Roy Rogers' backup group. And I'm going like, oh my God. And I knew, because we were sitting going back and forth. Do I want a Hummingbird? Do I want this? I have a Les Paul. Do I want a Rickenbacker now? Do I want...
No, you have 7 Les Pauls.
You have 7 of them. So he's saying here that I was shopping, and I'm asking Norm, what do I want? And so Norman's like, it's almost like when Harry Potter was trying to find his wand in the movies.
I didn't watch Harry Potter.
And then the wand guy goes, oh, I have just the wand for you. He picked the right wand just for Harry. For our Harry Potter fans will know what I'm talking about. So Norman is like that guy. He's like, oh, Frank, I think I've got the guitar. I think I've got it. It happens to be in my office. Here we go.
This, that. So we're going all around. And I wish he would save me enough fucking time. Norm said, hey, I got this.
Jeez. I love it when Frank drops the F-bomb. He doesn't do it very often, but I love how it comes out of nowhere. He's like,
it's like a PG-13 movie. He doesn't drop it often, but the one counts.
Yeah. This is the one. This is where our podcast doesn't get the E, because it's just one curse in the whole podcast. So he's saying, I spent all this time shopping, and Norman, I wish you effing gave me this guitar the moment I walked into the shop and saved me looking around. Because this is it, baby. This is the one.
I'm sitting there sweating for like an hour. He brings the case out, and it's beautifully hand-tooled. It says the Sons Pioneers. I go, oh my God. He goes, well, look at this one. So he opens it up, and it's a magnificent blonde Epiphone Emperor. I mean, 1940, magnificent looking. I mean, it's like not a mark on it. And inside.
Now, see, he points or kind of touches the guitar he's holding when he says not a mark on it. He sort of he never explicitly says the guitar I'm holding is that guitar. Frank in this whole video fails to mention, Doug, I am holding the very guitar that I'm talking about. He never mentions it. He sort of insinuated with touching the guitar with that part, but it's really frustrating to me that he never once said it is this guitar.
I know you got this long, convoluted story. Why don't you at least display the guitar so we can all see what you're talking about?
He's holding it for our listeners who are listening to this audible. He is holding the guitar.
Like hold it up and like.
Side where the picks are, they're like the cards for Sons of the Pioneers that the guy had it. And Norm told me the story about it. Kind of been recycled once or twice through here, but someone else wanted it. I think it was it Bob Dylan's manager? Someone wanted it.
So he's saying I don't know how he knew this, but he somehow is saying that the guitar that he is being shown by Norman from the Roy Orbison band was a guitar that Bob Dylan's manager wanted to get for Bob Dylan, but he snatched this from Bob Dylan.
That's hilarious. It's like when you're buying a house, they tell you like, "Oh, we got another interested buyer."
I love how there's no way to verify this could ever have been true.
Yeah, probably not.
Can you imagine Bob Dylan watching this video? Bob Dylan's watching this video. Damn it, Frank! That was my guitar. He fires his manager.
And as I said, well, this is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if you get any cooler than this, you know? I mean, there's other guitars that are amazing, like Stromberg's and stuff, but just the provenance of this. And so I figured it out because I already know a lot about the Sons of Pioneers.
So he's figured it out, Doug. This is the guitar he wants.
I figure it's a 1940 Epiphone.
So he kind of taps the guitar as he says that. So is that indicating that's the guitar? But he never looks at it. His hand tapped it as he's...
I know. You would think that he would... Because he's describing it, how beautiful it is. Like, show it. If that is it. If it's not it, bring that guitar to the interview.
Anyone listening to this, please tell us. I'm not a guitar guy, so I don't know. Frank doesn't tell us either, so it's very frustrating.
And the guy that had it didn't start playing with Sons of Pioneers until like 1969. And this is in 1940. So my thought was, it was either like Lloyd Perryman or one of the guys, older guys, says, hey, because people aren't like they are now with guitars. Hey, you like that guitar? We'll try this one. You know, I mean, it wasn't like today goes, hey, man, it's like 52 Strat. You know what I mean? People.
Yeah, we understand. Collectibles weren't collectibles at the time that they were there because they were just a guitar. They become collectibles because of their history. Like my dad, for example, bless his heart, he had a 55 or 57 T-Bird back in the day. He had one, but he sold it because he didn't know that the T-Bird was going to become the T-Bird.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he hates that to this day. But he didn't know because at the time it was just a T-Bird.
Yeah, right. It's not a collectible.
That's right. Because he had one when they were new, when they were this is a car.
Like who knows if a 2024 Hyundai is gonna
one day, man, one day
collectible 40 years from now.
That's the sad thing with cars. They don't make them like they used to. They really don't. Nothing that's made today will be revered in 100 years. Yeah. But to Frank's credit, that's what he's saying. I agree. They don't know what they have in those days. It's just to them they're just playing a guitar. It becomes a historical guitar because of who it goes through and what it becomes. Yeah.
Probably gave it to him because the case was old. The case was not 1970s. The case was an original case. So I've been trying to find the history of it or looking through pictures of it. But, you know, probably in those days, that guitar.
I've been trying to find pictures of the guitar that I'm holding in my hand. I really wish we knew. I wish we could see the guitar. Is that the guitar? This is the most frustrating video in history. Is that the guitar, Frank? Let us know.
Show us the damn guitar.
Holy shnikes, man.
Was what? $250, $300, which is a lot of money in 1940. That's like about $5,000 now. So, but that guitar was very endearing, and we did a show about it. And then my brother
says we did a show about it. I don't know what's
like a concert.
I don't know. He says we did a show about it. Is that another documentary we need to find? Frank, let us know. Is there where we can see that? Was it a stage show? Was it filmed for YouTube? Was it another documentary? He says we I don't know who the we is. We did a show about the guitar. Again, is that the guitar he's holding? Is it one that looks like the one he's holding?
Very confusing.
There's trying to go knock Norm down in price.
Okay. He says that now my brother's trying to knock Norm down in price. So we've already now established, see, Frank doesn't make it very clear. He says, I want to buy that guitar. But now he's making it clear that it was my brother Sly that bought the guitar. He was the anonymous donor. He never actually spells it out, but he says it here now because so basically I'm filling in the gaps for Frank. So you're tracking, Doug. Frank wants the guitar. He tells Norman, I want to buy the guitar. He gets Sly on the phone with Norman on the phone saying, Sly, work out with Norman the price of the guitar. So that's where we're at in the story now. It jumps very quickly to that point, but here we are.
Endearing, and we did a show about it. And then now my brother's trying to go knock Norm down in price. And again, he's worth $800 billion. Oh, but Norm said, he goes, I'll give you a bottle of whiskey on top. And Norm said something like, I think I.
He says, I'll give you a bottle of whiskey on top. Hey, Frank, by the way, can I get my bourbon, please?
That's a very sore subject to bring up, Frank.
Oh, I know. Frank, if you're listening, I bought your bourbon $50 US and it was never sent to me. Your shop closed down. Nothing happened. That stupid whiskey, Sky Whiskey brand or whatever, they took over. They said they'd give me my money back and a free bottle to boot. They've shut down. Like literally, Doug, Frank's bourbon took my money. I paid for it. It's like, It's just literally took my money and run. Took my money and run, Frank.
For the record, Frank, I ordered your bourbon. I received it. Great American company. Thank you, brother.
Is it because I'm Canadian? Is that why, Frank?
It might be. You damn liberals.
Frank's probably laughing at me now. I hope you're enjoying that $50.
Need it after knowing your brother that long. Yeah, something like that. But I got the guitar. It was a very successful show. We had a lot of views because it was a beautiful gesture. I mean,
we had a very successful show with a lot of views.
A lot of views. It wasn't on the Stallone family show.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. See, this is where it gets very convoluted. I think he's talking about, you're right, the one show that they had in Atlanta, his final concert for the Stallone podcast, for the Stallone reality show.
Mm-hmm.
He may have played it at that show. And so the lot of views is a combination of, was it Atlanta or what was it? Whatever that venue was. I can't remember. Was it Atlanta? No.
I haven't watched the Stallone.
No, but it was his last concert that he really did because Sly was there for the reality show, but they had a show. Anyways, he might be referring to that. But then, yes, the reality show did have a lot of views on Paramount. So that might be what he's trying to say here. Again, the mind of Frank is a hard one to figure out.
Okay.
I don't know anybody buys me anything, especially my brother, a guitar. I don't know where it came from. But
I don't know many people that buy many things, especially my brother guitar. What did he just say there? People don't buy things? The whole world buys shite. That's all the world does is one big consumption pool.
Yeah, that's why there's stores, because people buy stuff, Frank.
Let's hear that again.
It was a beautiful gesture. I mean, I don't know anybody buys me anything, especially my brother.
That buys him anything.
Oh, buys him anything. Boy, his marble mouth. I thought I had marble mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know very many people that buy me things. Well, you need to have loved ones in your life.
You need to have loved ones.
I guess your brother might be the top dude in that. That circle would be your brother. So bless his heart. And it's certainly none of your broke ass ex-girlfriends.
Guitar. I don't know where it came from, but then I found out next to Cafe Roma was a jewelry store, and Norm had some guitars in there. I don't know why they were there, but they were on display.
Okay, sorry. Now he's telling the part of the story, Doug. This story is so all over the place because now he's going to say, Sly told Norman to tell Frank, buy any guitar you want in the store. Frank was unable to pick. Norman says, well, I got the guitar for you. Brings out said guitar, but now we're going to find out how Sly knew about said guitar to have Norman give said guitar to Frank, but then somehow they still had to haggle a price. But Sly told Norman before all this happened, I want you to give this guitar to Frank.
Right.
Are you tracking?
It seems like it was always that guitar.
Yes.
So the whole like pick out whatever guitar you want was just a ruse to kind of.
But was it? Because why haggle the price on the phone then?
Yeah, no, that the price, if he knew it was that guitar, that was the guitar, it should have been worked out beforehand.
It should have just been Sly buying the gift and put it under Frank's tree and say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But now we're going to hear, how did Sly get wind of said guitar?
It was a beautiful gesture. I mean, I don't know anybody buys me anything, especially my brother, a guitar. I don't know where it came from, but then I found out next to Cafe Roma was a jewelry store, and Norm had some guitars in there. I don't know why they were there, but they were on display. There was a Les Paul and stuff, and my brother happened to walk by and saw the guitars and the spiel, and then he got in touch with Norm. So it was a very touching and nice thing.
So it was always the guitar.
Yes.
He's all over the place. There's too many questions. It's like one of Sly's movies.
Well, no, actually, I will say this: Sly did not write this script.
He could have. It's just too many questions are left over.
Okay, actually, yeah, 2025 Sly wrote the script.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So now he's about to say, I don't play this guitar very often, the one in the story, but I don't know if the one in the story is the one he's about to strum right here.
Play the guitar a lot because it's like a special occasion guitar, you know. It's just like you know. But
he missed the first chord.
He missed both chords. So, is that the guitar? Is he referring to the one in his hand?
Can you see the neck? Does it say Epiphone on it?
Maybe we'll go back and look. I'll have my people look into it. Now, the way this interview ends, it's just.
That was a really sweet thing, and I really love that guitar because I know I'm going to find out the more history of that guitar. I know I will.
Yeah,
he said that guitar.
I know
this guitar.
This whole story.
That's the guitar.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
How can you tell this fucking long, drawn out story about this guitar and not show the guitar? You said that guitar. I don't think
guitar. You're right. That's the key word. That guitar.
Like, you know, but that was a really sweet thing, and I really love that guitar because I know I'm going to find out the more history of that guitar. I know I will. I'm going to get it because matter of fact, I'm going to play that on my Instagram, and probably maybe some old fart will come and go, well, that was my dad's, and it was stolen. I go, well, blow me.
I love the ending. Can you imagine? This heartfelt Christmas story ends with "blow me."
As they fade, like you have this nice music over it. They fade out. They show the Norman's Guitars logo.
So I'm going to play that part again. So he says he's going to play that guitar on his Instagram. Some person is going to recognize the guitar, say, hey, that was my old man's guitar. And Frank's response will be to that poor grandchild, blow me. Take my junk and put it in your mouth and blow it.
On my Instagram. And probably maybe some old fart will come and go, well, that was my dad's, and it was stolen. I go, well, blow me. You're not getting it. Okay, here we go.
Blow me. Oh my God. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch that one beforehand.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to react to that in real time for sure. Now, before we close, I'm just going to quickly go through photos. I think there might be something worth talking about here. So there we go. Atlantic City. So that's the show that Frank was talking about. Just remembering our sold out concert because it's Sly, and that's why it was sold out. At the Hard Rock in Atlantic City, it was a glorious evening. That my understanding, Doug, that was his last official concert.
Right. Okay.
Was 2022 Atlantic City. Yeah, he hasn't played an actual he's played his instrument. He's played at bars and stuff, but I'm talking about his last show was proper. His last show proper was then.
He has a regular gig at some bar in LA.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's if you look at his website and his dates, it's all at the same place, and it's like every 2 weeks or something like that.
I also noticed on his Instagram of late, he had a lot of friends and family pass away. So rest in peace to all the friends and family. Frank's, of course, one of them being Val Kilmer. So he's got a picture there of him and Val on the set of Tombstone. So He was able to capitalize on Val's death. This was his largest and most liked photo in his Instagram that doesn't have Sly in it. Was this one?
Dom liked it.
Yeah, Dom liked it. I just like this photo here of him with his friends. What I like is if you go left to right, it's almost like who has the most natural hair. So Buddy on the left, he's the most natural. I think both in face and hair. He's got the balding head, proper gray hair. We got Frank, proper coloring, hairline debatable. Got the peak there that's growing forward. Then we got our buddy Mike Torsha.
There he is in the flesh.
So we got Mike Torsha with the bulging pipes and veins.
Ooh.
He's got the balding hair. He's keeping the balding hair, which I appreciate, but that's not his natural hair color. And then we got this guy here. He's a 2-time Oscar winner for The Green Book, Nick. And he's definitely is not his natural hair color. What do you think?
No. None of Frank's probably Frank and the guy on the left are the only ones who got close to natural hair color.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So we got natural. So this guy here wins. I think he wins on the left for both natural hair color and hairline. Torsha gets the natural hairline award, not natural color. I guess same with this guy.
Yeah,
Frank wins the best hairline, but I don't think it's natural with the proper hair coloring. This is a fantastic display of men here. I just love it. I love it. Okay, this is the movie that Frank's on. He's on a movie called Waxman. It's being filmed right now. It's being directed by a guy named Thomas Churchill. You ever heard of him?
Thomas Churchill, never.
No. I'll tell you why. He's one of these money laundering video guys.
Oh, no.
He's got 22 films coming up. He's one of those, you know what I mean?
In production.
Yeah.
Nothing's actually getting done.
No, it's those straight to movie guys. I was kind of hopeful that this would be a real thing, this movie that Frank... No, we're going to watch this. When this comes out, are we going to watch Waxman?
Yeah, we're going to watch everything that Frank comes out with.
I know. Where's that Vietnam film, Frank? We want want that Veterans Day. It's called Veterans Day. We want that. And they're missing a huge opportunity. The time's recording, Veterans Day is like a couple weeks away. Where is the film? Now it's
Memorial Day.
Sorry, Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Oh, is Veterans Day the November one for you guys?
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, I'm Canadian, Frank. Remember. Okay, so you still have time so Veterans Day still could be happening in November then. Okay. Anyways, he plays a psychologist or something, or like he's looking very dapper there. I love the jeans, the cowboy boots. Yeah. Anyways, this guy Thomas Churchill, Doug, he has 19 directed films. I'm surprised you never heard of him. 19 directed films. Any guesses? I did the math on this. Any guesses the average IMDb score of old 19 films put together? Give me a guess.
Average.
So I took old 19 films, divided it by 19, and I got a number.
3.9.
Whoa, 3.8.
Wow, really?
Holy.
I never do that good.
So with Frank on this new film with Thomas Churchill, the 3.8 director, maybe it'll go up to 5.
Well, maybe if our fans have anything to do with it, we could boost the numbers a little bit.
Oh, I just like this picture here. We've got Jasmine Crockett here. She's a Texas congresswoman. She says we need illegal workers because we're done picking cotton, is what she said. She's a black woman for audible listeners. But I just enjoy Frank's description of her. He says, can you get any less clueless than this thing? All capital letters, thing. The people who put this thing in office need to have their heads examined. So he refers to this woman as a thing. Oof, okay. I don't know. But he always preaches kindness, Doug. He always preaches kindness. So that's good.
Well,
this is an older picture of Frank. He's got a pot-bellied pig here, a baby one. I think he has to work on his, what do you call it? His grammar, because I'm going to read you the story cold of his caption here, and you tell me what it might mean. He goes, my mother got me a pot-bellied pig for my birthday. He was cute until he bit the hell out of my finger. Right there, I gave it to my sister. It was supposed to be like 10 pounds. It grew to like 250 pounds. I was a lucky guy that night.
What?
I'm not sure if he was lucky with his sister or the pig. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Or that the pig grew to be 250 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I think he's saying, I made the smart decision to give away my pig that night. And maybe it's my own perverted mind, but he just says, I was a lucky guy that night. I don't know.
For our audio listeners, you think he was given a potbelly pig as a birthday gift when he was like 10. How old would you say he is in this picture?
He's 38 to 40. Yeah. He should have eaten the pig is what he should have done. Sorry, Katie.
Yeah. Sorry, Katie.
So, yeah, here Frank shared the news that Waxman production begins on horror flick starring, it says here, starring Frank Stallone. Oh, here we go. Frank just sitting in a chair with his cowboy outfit just says, always thinking. Practicing gratitude is a learning process that pays off. Not hero worship or superficial gains. We can't those with us, Doug. Just so you know, we can't those with us. Okay?
Words to live by.
Always words. We can't those with us. Only our kindness and goodwill travel with us into the spirit world, like calling them the thing. You know, those are the things that
the kindness,
the kindness that we. And I love this here. He posted a quote here. It says, "When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. The pain is felt by others. The same thing happens when you're stupid." Okay,
true statement.
Point. Yeah. Let me just say, this has been a very painful podcast. All right. Now, I do love this. So Frank jumped on the AI picture making of making yourself into a toy. I think you saw that probably in the socials. People make themselves into toys. Well, he did it for AI. This is the perfect toy. It's got Frank, a very age appropriate looking Frank too, mind you, with the shaded glasses, the face. He's holding a guitar. He's wearing cowboy boots, outfit, everything. And then Doug, check it out. It's got everything our show talks about. It's got the doctor's outfit on there as an accessory. It's got the Veterans Day uniform on. It's got the
other
gun.
military one.
It's got the military one, the sheriff one, boxing gloves, tombstone, weights, and it's called Frankster. I want this toy.
That's great. So obviously they just scan your Instagram and they put like all the outfits that you wear.
Yeah. It's fantastic. That's it.
That's hilarious.
We got all the pictures in. Oh, what a show. What a big, powerful show. Or a big supersized show, I should say. I don't know.
That was good. That was all great stuff. All fantastic finds. Frank, you haven't disappointed.
No. Well, it's been a couple months. And as you can see, folks, the reason why it does take a couple months, because not every picture is podcast worthy. Not every video is podcast worthy. So it might be a month or two from now. Doug does have exciting news. His baby is about to be born any day now this month. So Doug will be a little bit busy. If Doug is unable to make some future recording days, if we can't line up, we will have a special guest host coming on to help out with the show. Doug is hopeful that he can be on there with them. That's, of course, Truck Randy. His name is Truck Randy. He runs his own podcast called the Old Apologies Podcast. Check it out. It's a great podcast. And he also is a recurring guest host on the Who Are These Podcast brand. Check out that show as well. But if Doug is not able to make it, Andy said that he's able to help out with the Frank Torch if you're not able to be there, Doug.
I will do everything I can to make every recording. If you can, and Andy's got to step up, the fans will be in for a treat. They'll probably like him a lot better than me.
Oh, stop it. That's not even true. There's no. And Doug, the goal is to have all three of us on to talk about Frank, because it'd be nice to have another voice entering this world that's, it's be interested to see somebody who's kind of hasn't seen this world the way we have, maybe an outsider, maybe somebody who could maybe smack some sense into us for Frank. Maybe we're seeing everything wrong. We could be, we're
not an echo chamber here. We welcome other ideas and opinions.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Doug, as always, for coming on. I hope everyone enjoyed. And Frank, I hope you enjoyed this as well. We love you. We hope to interview you one day. We hope you will come on the show. We hope you will be the one. Put it this way, we've said this before, Frank, you come on the show, this show ends. It's done. That's it. That's our promise. Frank, if you come on the show, we will stop. And then you will be the one who answers the question, who are you?
So I think all these shows are going to start falling by the wayside because I think people just don't want to hear it anymore.